What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be diagnosing my Subaru yet again to try to figure out the problem. So I got you guys on the GoPro here. I'm also testing out a new mic, so definitely let me know what you guys think. I wish I had this in my last video where I did that sit-down interview, but it just didn't come in yet. Obviously, I would have used my lapel mic if it came in, but the time just didn't work out. So anyway, hopefully audio quality is going up with my new like separate audio recording with the lapel mic. So anyway, we're doing this. We're ready to go. I hopped in my car. I actually replaced my MAF sensor. I had a boy hook it up to just give me a MAF sensor just so I could test it. So now that we got that guy all ready to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for a test drive, see if that changed anything. I did read through all you guys' comments. There was a bunch of comments on my last video, which I was really excited about, which was awesome. So we're gonna be trying a few things today. Hopefully we figure it out. Let's go ahead, let's go for a drive. All right. Pulled up to one of my favorite little areas where I can do a pull. Hopefully this doesn't pick up too much wind noise because I'll be really upset. Hopefully it's just my audio and possibly some exhaust. So, oh God, we got a car, we got a car, we got a car. Ah! Gotta get out of the way, gotta get out of the way, gotta get out of the way. Let him pass me. We're doing testing here. Come on, player. All right. Okay. So far, so good. I obviously haven't gotten into boost yet, but not bad. Just trying to let the car kind of adapt to new math. So. Nope, doesn't like it still. Nope. It still has that weird lag. Hopefully you can kind of tell in the video, like, it's not as bad. I don't know. I'll do another poll just to kind of see what's good in the hood. So if it's not the MAF, it's got to be a boost leak. I did get an adapter, but I need to get some sort of like regulator so I can regulate the pressure because I don't want to go obviously more than the amount of boost that goes through my car. So we'll see how that goes. I might need to run to the store, but again, I live in the United States, California, and we're all on lockdown, so I don't even know if the store is going to be open. I'll do a real pull, see if it does anything. Third gear. You see what I'm saying? You see that? Hopefully you heard that. It's audible for sure. It just does not want to do a pull. Nope, not the MAF. Not the MAF. Of course it can't be that easy. Of course. That's fine. The hunt continues. Now I'm leaning more towards boost leak. Which is annoying because I don't have the freaking tool for it, or at least like a regulator so I can regulate the pressure. So, well, keep it going. My peeps, my peoples, my peoples. Hold on, can I put that? Does that work? It's gonna have to work. It's gonna work. Okay, I think that works. So check this out. Today is the next day. And after some extensive research, which I will go over, I think I finally have came to a conclusion, or at least narrowed down my problem. So I assume the last clip that you guys saw was I threw you guys up on the GoPro. I went for a drive, and I got here, and then I believe I briefly touched on the fact that I had a boost, like a boost leak tester. But that didn't end up working out because it didn't actually fit in my turbo inlet, which I'll show you in a bit here. It says it's for a 3-inch. I have a 3-inch inlet, but it was just a little bit too big, so I couldn't actually boost leak test my car. don't know why it's not making sense in my head right now. Anyway, so with me not being able to do that, I went in and I started looking for anything that where a boost leak could occur, common areas. So the throttle body coupler, any intercooler coupler, because obviously there's a lot more couplers for a front mount. So every joint to where the intercooler piping goes, I checked all those, took them off, took it apart, and all the couplers looked good. I re-put everything back together. I even took off throttle body. I looked at that little hose that goes from turbo inlet for the bypass. There's like turbo inlet, then there's a little Y that comes off and goes for the bypass valve. I thought that could have been in an area where I could have been leaking some air because it seemed to be hitting the throttle body, but it was just rubbing up against it. It was, came to find out there's actually no hole there. So after I did that, I put everything back together. I checked out also my spark plugs, and what spark plugs can give you. Can actually give you a lot of information. It's kind of annoying to take spark plugs out of a Subaru because it is a sideways engine. You have to take out the battery on the driver's side to really get them. So I didn't end up wanting to do that, but I did it anyway, and I should have checked it earlier. What it showed me is I'm running very, very lean. My spark plugs were actually pretty much, they showed a hint of white on them. When your spark plugs at the tip of them are white, that means you're running very lean. If they were fouled, obviously it would you could smell gas, or if they were really black, then it'd be oil and be not good. So what they were actually leaning towards the white side, so it was definitely running lean. So with that being said, that can again lead to a boost leak, vacuum leak, anything like that. So once I found out that I was running lean, I really started looking at my fuel related stuff as well. So that's kind of where I started going. So what I did is I actually had a set of spark plugs previously when I thought I had this problem. So what I did is I replaced the spark plugs. I haven't started my car yet because the spark plugs weren't the problem. The spark plugs turned white because the car was running lean. It wasn't running lean because of the plugs, if that makes sense. It was the effect, not the cause of the problem, if that makes sense. So that's when I started to look at my data logs a little bit more closely towards the fuel related stuff. I was specifically looking at my fuel pressure. Now I can actually data log my fuel pressure, and I didn't realize that normally you're not able to data log your fuel pressure, or at least from what I understand. But the reason why I can data log my fuel pressure is because I actually have a Cobb fuel pressure sensor that's hooked up to the TGV. That's the connection that it uses. So it can actually be set up by your tuner to data log fuel pressure. So I remember when I got dyno tuned, the tuner was having a hard time because I was actually leaning out on the dyno, and he said that the fuel pressure sensor will help him a lot, and you can regulate the fuel pressure better with a fuel pressure sensor. So I remember that, and then what I started to do was, of course, I started to dialogue my fuel pressure, started reading into that, and then what I noticed is my fuel pressure is significantly low now. So what I did is, how I compared that is I was looking at my fuel pressure when I first got tuned. I have data logs from that when my car was running perfect, and my fuel pressure never got below 34 psi. And then I believe right when you're about to make boost, it's around like that 38 mark. And then every PSI boost, I believe it's supposed to go up in fuel pressure as well. So pretty much as fuel pressure rises, as RPM rise, as like engine load rise, your fuel pressure should go up with that evenly, if that makes sense. So what I noticed is obviously the old data log, when I compared my fuel pressure and engine load and all of that in comparison to my fuel pressure now that I'm getting, it's way different. It's way off. It's about 7 psi lower now, and it's actually getting what I noticed is the lowest it gets is about 29 psi when I kind of just driving the car around, and that's no good. I don't believe it should go below 34 psi's. And I do want to give a shout out to everyone that did mention fuel related problems, fuel pressure regulator, fuel filter, but I'm not gonna lie, I was just looking over that because I wasn't aware, I wasn't informed enough of what good fuel pressure was. But now that I'm better educated on what fuel pressure should actually be for a Subaru, and knowing that my fuel pressure is actually low, it's not something that I should have overlooked beforehand. So, but now that we're hopefully all educated and we know what good fuel pressure should be, hopefully moving forward, if you also have a fuel pressure sensor from Cobb and that's hooked up, when you data log, if you're having a problem like this, you should look at that. Or you could just test your fuel pressure with a fuel pressure tester. I believe you could just hook it up in line with the fuel line. I believe there's just kits that you can have a little gauge to see what your fuel pressure is. I believe at idle it should be around like that 34, and then if you take off vacuum assist, I believe it should go about to like 43 or 42, somewhere around there. It should go up without the vacuum assist, I believe. So I think that's pretty much it. I know that was a bunch of talking. Hopefully that made a lot of sense. Moving forward, like I said, fuel filter is going to be replaced. If that doesn't do anything, obviously it's good to do anyway. And then I'm going to move towards actually getting a fuel pressure regulator. If I have a friend that has just like the OEM fuel pressure regulator and I replace it and that actually does fix my problem, I know that's for sure it. And then I'm going to move forward into getting an aftermarket adjustable fuel pressure regulator. So I feel pretty good. I'm happy that I finally have a direction into which I'm going to resolve this problem, because then I could finally move on to doing fun stuff with my car and not having it all messed up. But before I end the video, I do want to show you, I did clean up my engine bay a little bit. I can point out some areas that I checked, just so you can check as well if you're having a problem with hesitation before boost. So my engine bay is actually a lot cleaner because, like I said, I pretty much took the whole thing apart, checking common areas where you could possibly get a boost leak. Like the bypass valve gasket is a pretty common area. Any coupler, like I said, I undid, redid all of them. I actually cleaned up everything. I wiped down my intake manifold, wiped down anything that's powder coated. Also got around here, making sure everything's all clean and good to go. And also cleaned up over here, as you can see, took out the battery as well, made sure the battery's all cleaned up. Actually wiped down literally like everything under the battery and all that, making sure even like the timing cover's all cleaned up and everything. So I was pretty stoked. I actually got a pretty good deep clean on the engine bay. Everything's looking pretty good, and I am going to get a new filter for my intake as well. I know that's super dirty. So there's gonna be a few things I'm buttoning up as well once we get this whole problem resolved. But like I said, I pretty much took apart everything, took off the throttle body, unplugged everything, making sure all the couplers were good. So common areas here, as well as this coupler here. Turbo inlet is another common area that could actually be leaking for a boost leak, and also here as well. Even if you have a top mount, it's pretty common to have a boost leak coming from here as well. Another thing that I replaced is this little line where it says Cobb right there. This line was actually really hard, and there was a little crack here as well. So little vacuum leak coming from right here as well. The crack was actually underneath, so I couldn't see it before, but it came off very easily. So I had this extra line. I replaced this line as well. And these are common lines that actually you can get some vacuum leaks as well here. And this little fuel pressure regulator right there on the end of the rail, which has the vacuum assist coming off of right here. So this is the thing that I believe is going bad, as well as the fuel filter causing my lean condition. And here is the little thing I was talking about, the Cobb fuel pressure sensor. This obviously just hooks up right into the feed line, coming in to the fuel rails as well. And this has a little connection that connects, if you have a TGV delete, connects directly to that TGV delete right here. And this is literally just a plug and play. Obviously it gets set up in Access Tuner. The tuner has to set that up for you, but that's why I can data log my fuel pressure and figure out this problem, hopefully. But worst case scenario, if I fix the fuel and it doesn't fix my problem, this is that little boost leak tester that actually goes right here. Normally you take off the intake, you put it up here, you throw you throw about the same PSI as you will see from boost. So honestly, I would probably only put about 5 pounds at first, see if you have any leaks, then up to about 5 or 10, 15 pounds. And you're supposed to obviously block off any areas where it could leak out. So you'd have to actually block off the 3 ports that are coming out of the inlet. And then you would check if there's any boost leaks. So I'd actually have to get a different adapter if I end up having to do a boost leak test. But hopefully I won't have to do it, and we have no leaks, and it is that fuel related problem. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I know it was a lot of talking and a lot of information, and that was literally hours and hours and hours of just asking questions and doing research of trying to figure out this problem. So I try to condense it and talk as fast as possible so you guys get the most amount of information in the shortest time possible. God, I can't even talk. I'm stumbling over my words. I literally gathered all this information over just a long period of time to understand what the hell is going on. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something that you didn't know before. And hopefully we are one step closer to fixing my car and boosting and just freaking driving the car great and going and seeing what the full potential of this car is. Because it's been so long for the car, just having this weird hesitation for so long. And I just really haven't got into the car and done real pulls. So I'm really excited to get this thing fixed and get some really good pulls with the new STI transmission, the new clutch and everything, and see what this car can do. So I'm really stoked on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace out. If you stayed until the end, I did forget to mention that AV Performance, my brand, is running a sale. It is going to go until Monday, actually, Monday at midnight. So I know this video is going up Sunday, probably around 11 o'clock, I assume. Today is Saturday, so the sale is going. It's if you use the code STAY HOME, you'll get 20% off your entire order. And there's hoodies and also my stickers for sale. I posted that on Instagram a couple days ago. I forgot to make a video and post it on YouTube so you guys can see it as well. So if you're interested, like I said, use code STAY HOME. You get 20% off of your order, and it ships anywhere in the world. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.